Okay.
Hi guys, I welcome to the next episode of my vlog. Today we are going to talk about one of the best bands in the world, Metallica. So rather than just me talking about Metallica, I thought I'll invite one of my metal buddies, one of my concerts buddies, Indz Chan. Hi Indz.
Hey, what's up, man?
I like your shirt.
Yeah, I like your shirt too.
Yeah, Master of Puppets.
Yeah, that's my second favorite Metallica album.
Yeah.
Well, the first one is I'm already wearing it right now, Ride the Lightning.
Nice. I think
Yeah.
since we've been friends for probably over a decade now, right? Or more than 10 years.
Yeah, we met in. I remember we met in 2010. It's Vikram who introduced you to me, and it was in a Dying Fetus concert that was like 10 years ago. But I've already seen you before that in the SummerSlam in the Lamb of God Testament. But we didn't speak. We weren't talking yet. So we started talking in the Dying Fetus concert. I remember it was 10 years ago. So that was our first introduction. Sorry.
Vic, right? Vic, Sledge, Vic Verma of Sledge metal, right?
Yeah, Vikram Verma, yeah, the vocalist of Sledge, yeah, right. He was the one. I remember he was the one who introduced you to me.
Yeah. So, how did you start listening to Metallica? What got you into Metallica, and when?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So back in '96, that was the first time I was listening to Metallica. It was like in the Load album that was in 1990s. Load album 1996. That's where I started, and back then the first Metallica CD that I had was Reload, Metallica Reload album. And actually the funny story with that is that it got confiscated by my uncle. I was 14 years old then, so he confiscated it, and then he returned it after a year or so to me. And funny story, I had the Load tape, and then the inlay of that tape got eaten by the neighbor's dog.
Yeah,
it was like in pieces, man. The inlay was like in pieces, and I got the reload CD. That was the first Metallica CD that I have. But the first Metallica tape that I have was the load.
So I have a similar story also, because I first I knew the name Metallica, but the first album I got was a tape of Load, and when I listened to the first song, Bitch. What is that song? The first one?
Ain't My Bitch, yeah. From the Load album, yes.
Yeah, I went crazy when I heard that first song in the record store. They put it the tape, and then said, okay, I want to have this one, and that's where I started. So, and then Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets after I started listening to Load. So we are kind of same.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we are the same, because we are almost the same age. So it was our generation, 90s generation. So we were like 90s kids. So we were in the rock and metal scene back in the mid 90s. So I remember. So because we're almost the same generation, so that's where it started. That's why we already woke up with those albums with Load and Reload. Yeah, so it's basically the same.
And then I remember the Load era. That era, Metallica had very good music videos. It's used to be very nice music videos. in the Load album.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remembered. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I remember the King Nothing, House That
Yeah. Exactly.
Till It Sleeps. Those were all though those were more hard rock, but they got Metallica really famous, I guess, right?
Yes. I remember I also have the DVD of the video collection from 1989 to 2003, the original DVD, but I couldn't find where it is. so so I'm kind of like 5 to 10% not really ready. I'm ready, but but it's all right.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find because you know that you have it, but so
Yeah.
I noticed one thing. So Metallica started 1981.
Yes.
Actually, when I look at the big four, Slayer,
Yeah.
Anthrax, and Metallica all started in 1981. It's
Yes. That's right.
kind of miracle. And then Dave Mustaine started. After leaving, we can probably talk about that. He leaving Metallica. He started Megadeth in 1983. So most of the three bands in 1981. So it seems for metalheads, 1981 is a big year. Very important.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
So from what I know, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I always liked, I don't know, somehow Metallica been very consistent, although, their style changed, but they've been very up in their game, right? They always do perform the best. They don't have they don't have excuses. They always put up very good records. But they might have some, some records that we don't like, but they've been very consistent.
Yeah. And they're really amazing live, man. Like, but not to be biased, but for me that's the best concert I've ever been through. So I've been to 3 Metallica concerts. The first one was 2011 in India, and then 2013 in Singapore in Changi, and then 2017 again in indoor stadium in Singapore. So basically, the story was in 2011. When I went to before months before the concert, I didn't really know whether I should go to India or not. So I was kind of confused. I was so excited. So I don't know whether to see them there or not. And like I was telling you last night, I told my parents that I was gonna be watching them in Delhi and Bangalore, but they said I only have to choose one. So I still booked 2 tickets. So what happened? So anyway, to make the long story short, what happened when I was in India, the Delhi concert got cancelled. So I had to fly to Bangalore the next day, which was a 3.5-hour flight. So it was already like an international flight. So it was a 3.5-hour flight, and then miraculously I reached there like 3:30 in the afternoon. And I was surprised there were already a lot of people. I was like in the 40th row during that time, but it's okay. But it's all right. So I was like, I had a hangover. Then fast forward to 2 years later, I said I wanted to be front row this time. So I went again to Singapore, and then went there early. This time I went early. This time, like 10:30 in the morning, I was already there. And there were already like not that many people, but there were already some people already were lined up. So we had to make a running marathon, 3-time running until I reached the front row. Yeah. So which was good. And then 2017, the story was I was supposed to watch them in Hong Kong because I've never been to Hong Kong, so I wanted to watch Metallica in Hong Kong. But the VIP got sold out, so I said I just go to Singapore instead. Which was actually it was a blessing in disguise because it was 2 days before my birthday, and it was my 35th birthday celebration, so I had to make it memorable. So that was January 22, I remember. So that was like for me that was like the best among the three Metallica concerts that I've been to. My ultimate dream is to meet them because that's the only thing I haven't done. But so far it hasn't happened yet. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's just keep our hopes up someday.
Yeah,
okay.
I was supposed to go to 2013 Singapore. I bought the tickets, but then I had a problem of my visa, so I couldn't go out of the country. So,
Yeah, I remembered.
and I was really sad about it. But luckily, in 2017, I was able to go at the same show you went. So I think we were like, you were in front, and then I was like probably like on the third row, because I
Yes.
went to the venue around like 2 p.m. I guess. So, but it was a great show.
Yeah, I remember we met outside the venue. I was even telling you to join me, but you were kind of having a little bit of hesitation because maybe the people in line might react. I remember I was with Derek during that time.
Yeah.
So he said he has met you before. Yeah, I was, but then other people might react. So like it's okay, but we didn't talk much. But at least we saw each other there. I remembered.
Yeah.
So that was good. Actually, that was the first time that we saw each other in Singapore.
Yeah. I think, but after that we went many times, right?
Yeah. After that, we went several times to other concerts.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
going back to Metallica. So Metallica, we know started in 1981, and then we have James Hetfield on vocals, and then Lars Ulrich on drums, and then bass used to be Cliff Burton, who passed away, and then he was replaced by Jason Newsted, and then now after Jason Newsted left, now we have Robert Trujillo. How do you say the name?
Robert Trujillo. But Trujillo or Trujillo, I don't really know the exact pronunciation.
Yeah, and then we have Kirk Hammett on guitars, but previously it was Dave Mustaine who Kirk Hammett took place of Dave Mustaine, because Dave Mustaine was like writing songs with Metallica before the Kill 'Em All, and then he got he was getting drunk, and he was not coming to the practices, I think, and then because of that he left, and then Kirk Hammett came from Exodus actually. He used to be in Exodus, and then there's this one more guy that we normally don't talk about. He's the original bassist, Ron McGovney.
Yeah, Ron McGovney.
Yeah, McGovney. He was the original bassist that Cliff Burton replaced. But it's very sad that Cliff Burton passed away. I think it's a bus accident
bus accident in 1986.
Yeah, and then I remember that they were, now Metallica is part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? They were inducted to 2009, I think.
Yes.
And then Cliff Burton's dad was there, right, when they inducted Cliff Burton. I think even his dad passed away last year, right?
Yeah, sometime last year or early this year. I don't really remember.
Yeah. It's actually the last couple of months is kind of blur, because I don't remember, because we've been to so many events, so many traveling, so many concerts.
Yeah.
So I know you already have all the studio albums of Metallica.
Yes.
Yeah, I also have all the studio albums. I have some little bit of other stuff, but I've been focusing mostly on the studio albums. I think we can go through one by one, talk about each of the album, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the first one is this one, Kill 'Em All, 1983. I think.
I have that too.
Yeah, this is the best. I think one of their best, because most of the songs are hits. It's on this album, right? Most of the songs are very famous.
Yes.
What are your favorite songs of this?
Oh, okay. Now that I have the album, that's a tough question.
Yeah, it's all good, right?
It used to be Seek and Destroy was my most favorite. It still is, but now it's tied with Hit the Lights, because I remember on the 2013 in Changi, that was the first song that they performed, Hit the Lights. So that kind of like 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 blew me away when I heard that song again. So I realized that was good. So I think it's tied with I think Seek and Destroy is still my top, and then second would be Hit the Lights.
Yeah,
But I like all the songs in the album.
yes, it's a good album. And then Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth is an instrumental of Cliff Burton. That's
Right,
really
right.
nice. And then these songs, Four
Yeah.
Horsemen, Jump in Fire, and Metal Militia is
Yes.
actually the songs that Dave Mustaine contributed. would
Yeah.
eventually would have been. I think he got influenced to do the Megadeth actually because of those songs, I guess.
Yeah, I remember. Although we are talking about Metallica, I remember he did a rendition of the Four Horsemen, like the mechanics from the Killing Is My Business.
Yeah.
So it's kind of resembles to Four Horsemen. Yeah. So there.
Yeah. So that is Kill 'Em All, 1983, their first album, and
Yes.
this one, the second one, your favorite album,
Oh.
Lightning, 1984.
Yeah, that is my most favorite album. That's my number one favorite album, the Ride the Lightning. There.
What's
the shirt?
Why do you like this so much?
Oh, because because actually before I was thinking what was my favorite album, because all the songs there are really good, and I like all of the songs there. And for me, like all of the songs there are really really good compared to other albums, because like you've told me earlier, the favorite Metallica album and least favorite, right? So the top 4 albums are my most favorite. From Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, which we'll be talking about later on, and Justice, and then after that the Black Album, which are my next favorite albums. So I got hooked into really Ride the Lightning, right? Like since we're talking about the songs, so my most favorite song from that album is Ride the Lightning itself, and the album track. And then I also like Fight Fire with Fire, and For Whom the Bell Tolls, and actually all the songs, Fade to Black, Trapped Under Ice, Creeping Death, and The Call of Tulu.
Yeah, Creeping Death. I like Creeping Death because Creeping Death is actually it talk about the story of Ten Commandments, like Moses and the Jews. The story.
Oh yeah.
It's Creeping Death is actually about that. So yeah, this is a great album, great artwork. So 1984, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Then we go to
and I remember the Creeping Death was the first song in the Big 4 DVD. As I was watching it when I first got the Big 4 DVD, I remember that was the first song Metallica was performing.
All right.
Yeah, so there.
Yeah, and then this is Metallica, Master of Puppets. I don't have the CD. I have only.
Yeah.
I think this is probably their best album, right? Out of
you have the vinyl and I have the CD. You have the vinyl.
And then I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, you're wearing the shirt too. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so this one,
Master of Puppets.
I don't know. I when I first listened to this one, I got super crazy when I listened to Master of Puppets, because it's more than 8 minutes long, and then it's very crazy, that song. And then Welcome to Home Sanitarium, then Battery is like crazy song, very upbeat song, right?
Oh yeah. So Master of Puppets is my second favorite Metallica album of all time. So yeah. So I like the song like Battery. My most favorite song from that album would be Master of Puppets, the album track.
Of course.
And I also like Battery, and the rest of the song, The Thing Should Not Be, Welcome Home, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, and Damage Incorporated. And Orion is a really good, Orion is a really good instrumental track.
Yes. So they did the Master of Puppets on 1986. So I have also one more album. This is the EP. This is called 598 EP, Garage Days Revisited. This is actually came after the Master of Puppets tour. But this is only
Oh, okay.
like 5 songs, Helpless, Small Hours, because I think these are more of their demo songs. They put it in the garage days, the early songs. So
Yeah.
that's a EP that after the Puppets tour. And then I think this one,
That's the one.
And Justice for
Oh,
All.
yeah. Yeah, I have the CD. You have the vinyl. I have the CD again.
Yeah, it's 1988. I think this is
Yeah, 98.
very iconic album actually. Iconic album cover, right? This Lady Justice.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's so cool. What are your songs? What songs do you like from this album?
Oh, all songs are good. So let me see. My most favorite song in that album is Blackened.
Yeah, that's
I,
a good
I'm
song.
kind of I'm really hooked into that song. I remember they all that was one of the songs on their set list in Singapore
Yeah,
in 2013 and also in India in 2011. So that song that's like my favorite until now. That's like my most favorite song from the album Blackened. And then I also like and Justice for All. Actually, all the songs are good
yeah.
in that album.
To live
And
with.
my second favorite song, yeah, go ahead. My
Uh,
second favorite song from that album would be Harvester of Sorrow. That's really like a mind blowing song too.
right. It's
Yeah, but all the tracks are good.
and then look at this. Actually, it's so cool there. and
Yeah.
and heard that this and Justice for All, although they have Cliff Burton. Cliff Burton was credited, but it's actually Jason Newsted is actually who recorded it, right? This is
Right. That's where Jason used to started, yeah,
yeah,
in
Jason.
the Justice for All album in 80.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the. I think this is the time the Cliff Burton passed away.
Yes.
And then I have this one, Metallica or the Black Album. They call it Black Album, the self-titled album. Right?
Again, you have the vinyl. I have the CD.
Yeah, it's and I think this is one of the albums that probably got them very famous, like Enter Sandman.
Yes, that's the album that made them very famous.
Yeah, and then
What made them really famous? What really made them famous on that album is the Enter Sandman, which I'm sure everybody knows.
yeah, and then I think it got them into the mainstream, right? Because a lot of
Yes.
non-metal fans started liking them. But I think remember that these days I think they some fans are pissed off about this album, right? That they are not like thrash anymore.
Oh yeah. No, actually, what happened is in '91 they kind of changed, like they sort of change into a different musical direction. So the sound was different compared to the first 4 albums.
Yes.
But for me, it's still a good album compared to the other albums. It's still a good album.
It's very good songs, right? Enter Sandman, Sad But True, Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam, and Nothing Else Matters is very nice. Nothing Else Matters. Yeah, it's a good album. Black Album, they call it.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Nothing Else Matters is one of the slowest songs that they have. It's like a ballad, like a rock or metal ballad that they have.
Yeah, and remember
then the guitar solo of Nothing Else Matters is also really mind blowing. It's kind of good also.
Yeah, and then this was featured in the S&M, right? Live with the San Francisco Orchestra. Remember, Nothing Else Matters was part of that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then remember, we went to watch the latest S&M 2.
I remembered. Yeah, which was last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
And then we are going to the different. I think Black Album changed their kind of direction. So I think this is the album we were talking about, Load. So
yes,
it's more of
now we have the same.
Yeah, it's more of hard rock. They're kind of into the heavy metal, generic like heavy metal, hard rock kind of sound, right? On this album.
Yeah. So they kind of like mellowed down on that album. They kind of like took it down like a few notches, and then it's kind of sort of became like a hard rock. It's like sort of a hard rock metal album fusion. but
Yeah.
for me it's like more of hard rock, but still a good album.
Yeah, hard rock. They also,
Still a good album.
yeah, they were also saying it was like southern rock. There were influences of southern rock, because kind of they had like kind of influence of blues a little bit on the album, like 2x4. It's good. I really like the, as I said, when I first hear the Ain't My Bitch song, that's why I bought the album, because it was very fast song.
Yeah.
Then House Jack Build, Until It Sleeps, King Nothing was nice. The videos were really good. Hero of the Day.
Yeah.
And also Mama Said, right? Mama Said is also a nice song.
Yeah, it's another slow song that they have.
Slow song, yeah. Actually, this is one of the CDs. Actually, this sticker here, it's a Sri Lankan record label. So I bought it in Sri Lanka actually when those days. So I still have it. 1996. How many years ago?
Yeah, my most favorite song from that album is "Ain't My Bitch." I think we're same.
Yeah, it's a good song. And then they came back with the second sequel of Reload, 1997. I think
I have the CD too.
Yeah, same CD. What are the favorite songs of this one?
My most favorite song from that album would be I will go with it's kind of tough, but I think I will go with Memory Remains, because as far as I can remember, that was the first single that I heard from that album. I remember the video, one of the first Metallica videos that I've seen before. The Memory Remains.
Yeah. And I like Fuel.
And like I was saying earlier, that was my first Metallica. That was my first rock and metal CD ever. Not just the first Metallica CD, but the first rock and metal CD ever. Actually, the story of that is I gave that. I had another copy before. I gave it to my ex. So when I gave it to her, I bought another copy immediately, like a week after. So now I have my own copy as well.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Memory Remains was good, and Fuel is good. The Unforgiven 2, they had Unforgiven 2 here, right? The version, the Unforgiven. I think the Unforgiven is on the Black Album, right? The first version.
Yes, the Unforgiven one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is Unforgiven 2. This was now one thing I noticed: the Black Album, Load, Reload, and also Saint Anger, the next one. All these albums were produced by Bob Rock, who's famous.
Oh, yeah.
Producer was Bob Rock. So that is Reload. And then this one, Saint Anger. I don't know what to say about this, because a lot of people don't like this one, right?
Oh man. Now I have that CD too, but I gotta tell you, for me that's the least favorite album. That's my least favorite Metallica album, man. I gotta tell you that's like it's at the bottom of my list. But you know, there are some songs that I like from that album. Not all, but there are some songs that I like from that album, like Frantic. And then Saint Anger, Some Kind of Monster, which I think I remember I saw the documentary before.
Yeah.
They had a documentary before, remember, Some Kind of Monster?
Right.
Yeah, so, and the Unnamed Feeling. Actually, these are, I think if I'm not mistaken, these are the singles from that album that came out, the one that I mentioned, including the Unnamed Feeling, which is also a good song. But I didn't listen much to the other song because I really couldn't tolerate some of the songs, so I bothered to. So that's the album that I didn't listen to the least.
Yeah, I think it's also shows that by this time Metallica was kind of tired of doing all the shows and going for so long. I think they got sort of they had issues with each other, and I think that's what they were trying to discuss on the Some Kind of Monster, the documentary. So I think it reflects on the album that whatever internal struggles that they were having, right? Because That's probably the reason this album is. I mean, it's not a bad album, but there are some good songs, but somehow it's not very attractive to the fans, right? They don't.
Yeah.
They're not enjoying.
Actually, they were trying to experiment with that album with the Saint Anger. So they were trying to experiment. They were trying to make a different sound. And Robert, I think Robert Trujillo's, that was Robert Trujillo's first album with them. I remember, because I remember the first video that they released from that album was the album track, the Saint Anger.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, the one in the prison, right?
But Robert joined on that tour, but in the album, it was recorded. Actually, the producer was actually doing the bass on the recording, Bob Roque.
So, okay.
Yeah, but actually, the tour, the Saint Anger tour, it's actually Robert joined on that tour. So that's Saint Anger.
Okay.
And I think after that, this was next one, Death Magnetic. I think this was a kind of a comeback album. I think this was better than Saint Anger. I think, you have that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That's for me. I'm sure we both agree on that. That's a better album compared to Saint Anger, which came 5 years after Saint Anger.
Yes, and
yeah.
it was
for me, that's a good album.
Yeah, this was produced by Rick Rubin. Actually, I think this is the only time Metallica worked with Rick Rubin, and I
Rick Rubin,
yeah, I remember in the internet. I think Metallica was not actually happy with Rick Rubin on this one, because they didn't do any albums after that. Yeah, because I think there was also a lot of controversy that the recording was something not correct with the albums. There were some issues with the recording or something. But I like the songs here. That was Just Your Life, Unforgiven 3, Judas Kiss, and then this one is nice. The video, The Day That Never Comes. That's a really nice video also, right?
Oh. Yeah.
This is
my most favorite song from that album is All Nightmare Long, man. I really, really love that song. That would be my number one song from that album. That's like a mind-blowing track. Also, but actually, for me, all the songs are good in that album. But of course, to be honest with you, that Magnetic is nothing compared to the first 4 albums that they made before. But still, it's still a good album compared to Saint Anger. Of course, like we discussed earlier, we like it better than Saint Anger. Of course, I'm sure many people would agree too. Yeah. So there.
Yeah. And then after the Death Magnetic, I think they ran a long tour. So there was one. This one is called Beyond Magnetic. It's another EP, like a 4-song.
Oh, yeah.
I think you also have I saw in your list, the one you sent me. You have Quebec Magnetic, right? The live album.
Oh yeah, it was. I also have that, but I forgot to take it out of my. Oh.
Right.
Sorry, kind of lost connection. Okay, yeah. Going back, I had I have that in my drawer, but I forgot to take it out. So instead, anyway, there's a substitute for that which I have is the Quebec Magnetic. I remember I got this a few years back. I got this.
I don't know what happened. I used to have that. I don't know what happened. I don't have it anymore. Maybe I gave to somebody and they didn't.
So since we're talking about magnetic, so it's time that I also show this DVD, the Quebec Magnetic.
Yeah, I remember I watched that. It's very nice, huh? It is. I think that's the one they play in the middle of the stadium, right? Everyone, the fans are around them. Yeah. Okay, so this Death Magnetic, and then I think the next album 2016. I think it's actually one of really good comeback album. It's really good.
It is.
Both have the same album, right?
Yeah. Actually, I like Hardwired better than, in my opinion, for me, I like Hardwired better than Death Magnetic.
Yes.
I like Hardwired better than Death Magnetic. That's just me. I don't know for some people.
Yeah. And
although it's in my observation, it's kind of slower than Death Magnetic. It's like they went down another few notches, but it's still a good album. Actually, Hardwired. Of course, to compare with the Saint Anger, of course, Hardwired would be much better than Saint Anger, man.
Yeah.
From what I heard, they were trying to combine Kill Them All and Black Album in the Hardwired Hardwired album. They were like trying to combine Kill Them All and Black Album, like sort of kind of that style. Yeah. So
yeah. You're right. And then Hardwired, Atlas Rise, Moth Into the Fame is the one most famous one, right? Moth Into the Fame.
Moth Into Flame, yeah, that's also a good song.
Now that we are dead, the Undertaker is using that now in the stage, the WWE. Now that he's recently used that one. It's so cool.
Sorry, which wrestler again?
The Undertaker.
Oh, Undertaker. Yeah.
Now that we are dead is really. Yeah, I think I like this one, and this album actually got me more interested of Metallica again, especially after seeing them on this tour, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
my most favorite album on that song. My most favorite song on that album is Hardwired, the album track, because it's fast and heavy at the same time.
Yeah.
That was the first single that they released from that album. So it was, for me, it was like different compared to the other tracks. So Hardwired was like fast and heavy, and it was short. So it was for me, it was like kind of unique compared to the other tracks. So for me, that was my most favorite song on the Hardwired album. Which one is yours?
Probably Moth Into Flame, because I saw them live, right? So I remember watching that live. So it was so cool.
That's my second favorite track in the album, Moth Into Flame. Yeah. Especially the guitar solos, man.
Yeah, and I think in this one they call it Blackened album, so Blackened recording, because I think Metallica established their own recording label for this one. Blackened.
Yes.
The song Blackened, so they're using that as their record. And I think I have few more items. Probably you also have this one.
Here.
Yeah, we both have that. This is the 2010 Sofia, Bulgaria, right? Big Four.
Yeah.
So I showed this when I was doing the Slayer video also, because this is something, if you're a thrash metal fan, you probably need to have this one, right?
Yes.
That's a cool one. And then I have this one, the movie, Metallica, Through the Never.
I've seen the movie, but it's funny that I don't have the DVD. Coming soon.
I think we need to get this. Yeah. And then unfortunately, in my collection I don't have any Metallica signed album except this one. This is actually Newsted, James Newsted album. So Newsted Metal. Newsted is the band name, and then they released this album Metal in 2013. So luckily I got the signed one. So Jason, at least Jason Newsted.
At least there's one Metallica member that's assigned.
At least one, because it's very hard, Metallica. But I know few of my friends who actually met Metallica. Like, I think also, like Sabrina met some of the Metallica members. Then Afik from Singapore, they met Metallica last time. I don't think they met James, but they met just the others.
3/4 of the band.
Yeah, and then this one is not Metallica, but it's actually a tribute to Metallica, right? Play Metallica.
Yes. They were supposed to come here, right? But the concert got cancelled, right?
Yeah, that was supposed to be a concert last October, but it got cancelled. So, yeah.
Right.
So, and then this is something I have been having for a long time. This is a Metallica club membership form from 1993. I don't know how I got it, but I don't remember who gave it to me, but I still have it for some time now. Although I'm part of the Metallica club membership, but online, I think Metallica club, I don't know, it's kind of like a free club now, right? Online.
Yeah. I haven't visited that website in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't also.
And 1993 was the first time that Metallica came to Manila, but they never came back. So we had to fly. We had to fly to watch them.
Yeah, and then I have a couple of the picks also, Metallica picks. James,
Yes.
James and Kirk, and, and oh, so it's actually really, really good to talk about the bands we love. we can do this.
Yeah.
We can actually do this for like so many hours. So, any last words on Metallica, bro? What do what do you want
Yeah.
to do with Metallica? What's your wish for Metallica? What
I
plans?
wish that I could meet I could meet the bands someday. Of course, my priority would be Hetfield, and
Hmm.
then followed by the rest of the members. But it would be good if I can meet all the members at the same time. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so I also have the pics from the Metallica concert, but it didn't cross my mind to take out the pics. I don't know why I was just
Yeah.
focused on the studio albums. I remember I have the pic from the 2013, which I got in Changi. And I also have the 2017 pick, the Metallica pick. Hold on just a second, let me just get to it. 2017 in indoor stadium,
Yeah,
which I
Singapore.
also got from from the concert itself. Anyway, I have to find it, so it might take an extra time, but it's all right. Anyway,
Yeah.
the
So
main focus here is the studio albums.
yeah, I'm also looking at if ever Metallica has an Australian tour or somewhere nearby. I want to
Yeah.
go. I want to get their VIP package, because I think it's time to
Yes.
get their VIP package, because we meet most of the other Slayer we met, Megadeth we met, Anthrax was
Yeah.
supposed to meet but it got cancelled, but it will probably happen again. So if there's a
Yeah.
VIP package, even like $1,000 or whatever, I think I want to take that in 2021.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You mean the Dream No More experience.
Yes, something like that, so we can focus on completing our. um,
Yeah.
yeah, I hope we can do another thing like this. Anybody you want to shout out to?
Oh, well, I'd like to make a shout out to our metal family, the Metal Royalties, that PH, of course, Peter, Fred, and the rest of the people there. There are like several members there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so of course to my family, to my mom, my dad. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, bro.
So
So uh,
and our friends. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so the Metal Royalty, JB, Reinne, Meg, uh, who's this Jan? So there's so many actually. Fred.
Yeah, I know.
And our friends like Carlito, Mike, Gumiran, the Rock Chick fan club.
Oh, don't forget Joey Dizon, man.
Yeah, Joey, Bennii, Edzel,
Bennii, Edzel.
yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, okay. I think this I'll try to put some of the Metallica videos that we took from 2017 on this video. So when I release
Yeah,
it,
cool.
yeah,
Yes.
bro. Thank you. Stay safe. Stay metal. Talk to
Stay
you.
safe, stay metal.
Yeah, talk to you soon, guys.
Talk to you soon.